Radhe Radhe, Dandavat Pranam, Hare Krishna. Welcome to Sri Sri Radha Vino Bihari Mandir, Gopinath Bhavan, Sri Vrindavan Dham.
Jai Ho!
So today, we are very blessed because here in Vrindavan we are observing Sri Baladev Purnima. Sri Baladev Purnima ki Jai! Sri Baladev Prabhu ki Jai! Srila Gurudev ki Jai! Srila Prabhupada ki Jai! Rupananda Gauriya Guru Varga ki Jai! Patit Pavan Sri Nityananda Prabhu ki Jai! Prem Purushottam Sachinandan Gaur Hari ki Jai! Radha Vino Bihari Ju ki Jai! Radha Ramana Ju ki Jai! Giriraj Maharaj ki Jai! Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai! Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki Jai! Gaur Bhakta Vrind ki Jai! Shri Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. So we will begin with Mangalacharan, page 1 of this book, Sri Gauriya Giti Guccha. Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuttapada Kamalam, Vandeham, Vandeham. Make sure you give a little time for the baby too.
Tonight? What?
The baby's awesome.
It's pretty decked out.
Yeah.
Dandavat Pranam, Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapada Kamalam Shri Gurum Vaisnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagano Raghunatham Vitantam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagano Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitansha Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Namine Shri Krishna Lila Katane Sudaksham Adarya Madhurya Purashcha Yuktam Varam Varinyam Purusham Mahantam Narayanam Tvam Shirasam Namami Tridandinam Bhakta Shiromanim Cha Shri Krishna Padam Jindataika Vritti Chaitanya Leela Sarasaram Narayanam Tvam Satatam Prapadhe Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavani Ashtadhya Deshakarine Namo Vishnupadaya Gaurapresthaya Bhutale Shri Srimad Bhakti Pragya Keshava Niti Namine Bhakti Charitraya Swashridanam Shapanine विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिसिद्धान्त सरस्वतीति नामिने श्रीवर्षभानवी देवी दैताय कृपाभये कृष्णार्सम्बन्धविज्ञान दैने ब्रह्मवे नमः माधुर्योज्ज्वलप्रेमाढ्य श्रीरूपानुगभक्तिदा श्रीगौरकरुणाशक्ति विग्रहाय नमोऽस्तुते नमस्ते गौरवाणी श्रीमूर्तये दीनकारिणे रूपानुगम्भिरुद्धारो सिद्धान्तध्वन्तहारिणे नमो गौरकिशोराय साक्षाद्वैराग्यमूर्तये विप्रलम्भारसम्बोधे मदम्बुजायते नमः नमो भक्तिविनोदाय सच्चिदानन्दनामिने गौराशक्तिस्वरूपाय रूपानुगम्बराय ते गौराविर्भावभूमे स्वं निर्देष्टा सजनप्रिया वैष्णवः सर्वभौमश्री जगन्नाथाय ते नमः वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकाकन्त राधाकन्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्तकंशनगौरङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये जयतां सुरतो पङ्गो मम मन्दं मते गति मत्सर्वस्वपदं भोजो राधामदनमोहनो दिव्यवृन्दारण्यकल्पद्रुमदो श्रीमद्रत्नागारसिंहासनस्थो श्रीराधा श्रीरघुविन्ददेव प्रेष्ठानिभिः सेव्यमानो स्मरामि श्रीमन्नरसरसारम्भी वंशिवत्ततस्थितः कर्षन्मेरुस्वरगोपी गोपीनाथ श्रीयेस्तु नः वृन्दाये तुलसीदेव्यै प्रियायै केशवस्य च कृष्णभक्तिप्रदे देवी सत्यवत्यै नमो नमः पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम् जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद चेतोदर्पणमार्जनं भवमहादाभग्निर्वापनं श्रेयकैरवचन्द्रिकावितरणं विद्यावधूजीवनम् आनन्दं मुनिवर्धनं प्रतिपदं पूर्णामृतास्वादनं सर्वात्मा स्नपनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्ण संकीर्तनं हरेर्नाम हरेर्नाम हरेर्नामेव केवलं Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Guru Charana Kamala Bhajaman.
Page 359 in the small songbook starts Guru Charana, Carana, Kamala, Kamala, Bhajaman. And if you're new to the thread and don't know, Jiva Pavana Prabhu always posts the different kirtans and bhajans that we're singing so we can all join together. So if you keep scrolling down, look for the name Jiva Pavana, and then there you will see either he writes in big lyrics or you'll see that he's posting nectar and bhajans. So keep looking for that. Thank you so much, Jiva Pavana Prabhu, for this really wonderful seva.
Thank you. The reason why this bhajan came up, I was thinking about Baladev Prabhu, and Baladev Prabhu means so many things, but one of them is that he gives spiritual strength, and that word is in this bhajan. Guru Kripa Vina Nahi Koi Sadhana Bala. So the power or the potency to be able to move forward on the path of bhakti comes through Guru Kripa, which is a manifestation of Baladev Prabhu. So that's why this bhajan came up.
Also, it was written by our Gurudevs.
Yes.
Add that in there.
Shri Guru Charana Kamala Bhajaman. Shri Guru
Charana
Kamala Bhajaman. Charana Kamala Bhajaman. Shri Guru Charana Kamala Bhajaman. Shri Guru Guru Kripa Vina Nahi Koi Sadhana Bala. Shri Vaisnava Vandana, page 36, Vrindavana Vasi Jota, Vaishnavira VRN DAVANA, Vasi, VASI, Vrindavana Vasi Jota, 36. Vaishnavero Pratame Vandana Savarachara Vrindavasi Jana Nitai Patakamala, Koti Chandra Shishitala. Sorry, page 58. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda
Srila Hari Hari, Ipale, Janama Goyenu.
And also, that's avatar.
Yes, okay. Hari Hari, page 100. Ipale, Janama. You want to do that?
No. They're asking for close darshan of Thakurji.
Right now? You want early close darshan?
Should I?
Only if you promise to stay for second darshan and third. Srila Bhagavatamrita Bihari Ju Sachinandar Gaur Hari Ki Jai और लड्डू गोपाल की जय देखो जय सचिनंदन जय गुरु हरि राधा बिहारी राधा बिहारी राधा बिहारी राधा बिहारी राधा
The babies. Okay. Now I've got to get this right.
Hari Hari Vipale Janama Vainu, page 100. Oh Hari, my life passes uselessly I have received this human birth, but by not performing bhajan of Sri Sri Radha Krishna, I have knowingly drunk poison. Why has attachment for Harinam Sankirtan, Goloka Vrindavan's treasure of divine love, not awakened within me? Day and night my heart burns in the poisonous fire of material existence, and I have no means to alleviate it. The son of the king of Braj has become the son of Shachi Devi, and Balaram has become Nitai. Through Harinam they have delivered all of those who were fallen and wretched. Jagai and Madai are testaments to this fact. Narottam Das says, O my Lord, son of Nanda Maharaj, accompanied by the daughter of Rishabhanu Maharaj, be merciful to me at last. Do not push me away from your reddish lotus feet. Other than you, who is mine? Hari Hari Nipale Janamo Hari Hari Nipale Janamo Manusha Janamo Paya Radha Krishna Navajiya Manusha Janamo Paya Radha Krishna Navajiya Janiya Shuniya Dashavatar Stotram Pralaya Payodhi Jale Drittavan Sidetam.
Is it an all together?
349. And we will do it together because it's quite long. 349 Pralaya, Pralaya. And if you don't have the songbook, Jiva Pavana Prabhu mercifully, very kindly posts it in the comment section on the thread. So just scroll to the most recent post and you will find it there and you can pray along with us. Pralaya Payodhi Jale.
Thank you, Jiva Pavana Prabhuji. I don't know what we would do without you.
harmony, and just like Bhaktivedanta Maharaj up there.
I think that's better, sort of. Okay. Radhika?
Yes. So when we just sang this Sri Dasharavatar Stotram many years ago, afterwards one devotee was leading and then he started singing Jaya Dasharavatar, Jaya Dasharavatar. And Srila Gurudev corrected them and said this isn't the right way to do it. We should understand that this particular stotram, this Dasharavatar stotram, is glorifying Keshava, Krishna. Keshava Dritta Narahari Rupa, Keshava Dritta Meena Sharira, Keshava Dritta Haladhara Rupa, Keshava Dritta Buddha Sharira, Kalki Sharira, Varaha Rupa, all of them. It is Krishna manifesting in these forms.
It's also an invocation for Gita Govinda.
It is an invocation for Gita Govinda. So there's so many different, deeper, super rasic meanings as well within there, which we do not know. And we won't dive into deeply. But, so the devotee was singing Jai Dasharavatar, Jai Dasharavatar. And Gurudev said, no, we should say Krishna Hai, or in this case, today is the day of Baladev Prabhu, so Rama Hai, Rama Hai. Balaram is also known as Ram. Did you ever find Vande Shri Vrishabhanu Sutapada?
Let's try Kalayanti Nayanam today.
Just Radhe Jai Jai Madhava Dayate. Oh, and then Par Karenge. And then Hare Krishna. So you can prepare for Par Karenge after Radhe Jai Jai Madhava Dayate. That's okay, we can do it. Un momento, per favore. CD. Page 341. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite. Jaya Radhe Jaya Jaya करेंगे नया रे भज कृष्ण कन्हैया PARKARENGE Oh, PARA, sorry. 368. You just don't pronounce the A at the end. Then we don't say para karenge, we say par karenge. If you don't have the songbook, Jiva Pavana Prabhu very kindly posts it in the comment section. So scroll to the most recent comment from Jiva Pavana Prabhu and you will find the bhajan present there. So you can sing along. पार करेंगे नैया रे भजो कृष्ण कन्हैया पार करेंगे नैया रे भजो कृष्ण कन्हैया पार करेंगे नैया रे भजो कृष्ण कन्हैया कृष्ण कन्हैया दाऊ जी के भैया No, Hare Krishna.
My favorite. I don't like when I have to concentrate to be able to.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Sorry, Damodar Pandit Prabhu, we didn't realize the drum was so loud. I think we just got really excited and felt like we were in a big kirtan, so they said the drum was distorting.
Sorry. You want to start it?
I just did.
Can the Mridanga move away from the mic? Phone is fixed and the mic is in the phone. So sorry about that.
It might have been the card though.
Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namah Ajnanatimilandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Namo Om Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Nityanamine Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanamine Mancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam pangam langayate girim Yat kripatamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam. First of all, I offer my Dandava Pranam thousands of times in the dust of the lotus feet of our beloved Gurudev, Nityalila Prabhupada Vishnupad, astottara Srimad, Srila Bhaktivedanta, Narayan, Goswami Maharaj. And the same thousands of Dandavat Pranam in the dust of the lotus feet of Nityalila Prabhupada Vishnupad, astottara Srimad, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. And to all of our Rupanuga, Gauriya, Guru Varga, and to all Vaishnavas, past, present, and future, including all of those who are present with us today, I offer my Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam.
Shri Baladev Prabhu ki jai, Shri Baladev Purnima ki jai. So today, as all of you know, we are observing the holy transcendental appearance day of Shri Baladev Prabhu, otherwise known as Balaram or Haladhar. He has so many names, but today is the appearance of Lord Balaram. He appeared on this full moon day, and for us, we have a very special relationship with Baladev Prabhu. So we have received this amazing opportunity on this day to welcome Krishna, who is appearing soon. Janmashtami day. Before Krishna appears, Baladev Prabhu appears in this world. Why? So before speaking about the pastimes of Baladev Prabhu, I want to speak a little bit about the tattva, the foundational, elemental principles of who Baladev Prabhu is, or what Baladev tattva is. And from that, then we can build on that foundation, the beautiful palace of the teachings, or the lessons and the pastimes of Baladev Prabhu. It's essential to understand from the tattva perspective, first of all. Otherwise, certain things will be difficult to understand. And so, especially pastimes can become difficult to understand. So therefore, we follow the teachings of our Guru Varga, what our Gurudev, what our Vaishnavas, what our Rupanuga Acharyas have taught us, so that we can enter into the understanding of Baladev's pastimes, which sometimes can be a little bit difficult to understand. Not sometimes, for anyone. I mean, what qualification do we have to glorify such a personality? And he also feels himself completely inadequate in glorifying Krishna, who is himself in a different form, unlimited, but since time without beginning, he has been glorifying Krishna and with his unlimited mouths, and he still feels completely inadequate to even scratch the surface of the unlimited glories of Krishna. So what audacity do we have to sit here and endeavor to glorify such a personality, and yet still, for our own purification, it is necessary to remember and to speak, to share what our Gurudev and Guru Varga have given. Also, especially within the presence of Baladev Prabhu, we see so many very powerful pastimes which are extremely beneficial lessons for us. So first I want to speak a little bit about who Baladev Prabhu is, and then who he is in terms of rasa, what he came to give us. I'm just looking for the Sri Dashavatara Stotram again. Let me just find it. Oh, liar. So as I'm searching for this, sometimes we hear that the Rama in Hare Krishna Mahamantra may refer to Dasharati Ram, which is the son of Dasharat Maharaj and the consort or the husband of Sita Devi. Sometimes we hear that it can refer to Balaram, maybe even Parshuram. But all of the commentaries of our Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharyas that we have, especially our Rupanuga Acharyas, they tell specifically that this Ram in the Mahamantra, for those who are ekantik or one-pointed, in the line of Mahaprabhu and in the line of Rupa Goswami, this Ram only refers to Radharaman. That Hare Krishna means Radha Krishna, Hare Ram means Radha Raman. So for those who are endeavoring in this way, then they will see the Mahamantra like this. And yet, one cannot have proper access or realization of Mahamantra without the mercy of Balaram. So I'm just going to begin by again telling this prayer by Sri Jayadev Goswami. Bahasi vapushi vishade vasanam jaladabham halahati bhiti milita yamunavam keshava dritta haladar rupa jay jagadish hare. So, who is or what is Balaram? First, we must understand one thing. There is one supreme absolute truth. Advait Gyan Tattva Braje Brajendra Nandan. That is Krishna himself, the original source of everyone and everything else. That is Braj Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj in Vrindavan. Advait Gyan Tattva, the supreme non-dual absolute truth. And from that supreme non-dual absolute truth, although sometimes he is called one, also there's infinite variety. So he has so much rasa and so many manifestations. This is his nature as well. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarvakarna Karanam. He is the original, supreme original. There is no one before him. He is the prime cause of all causes. His form is composed of Sat Chit Ananda, eternality, existence itself, bliss, knowledge, relationship. This is Chit Ananda is bliss, happiness, love, affection. So his form is made of that. He is composed of that transcendental, eternal substance, if you want to call it that. Sat Chit Ananda Vigraha. And he is the source of everything. Everything is emanating from him. As he says in Bhagavad Gita, Aham sarvasya prabhava. Everything is emanating from me. Matak sarvam pravartate. Everything comes from me. So also, Keshava Dritta Haladhara Rupa. Keshava, this is the original Krishna in Vrindavan. From him, from the perspective of tattva, we can understand. Tattva vichar means essential, foundational, elemental truths. From that perspective, we can understand that Balaram or Haladhar, who is the holder of the plow, Hala means plow, Dhar means who is holding, like Giridhar, who is holding Giriraj, Govardhan. Gadadhar, who is holding the Gada, the club. So, in this case, Keshavadrita Haladhar Rupa, it is said that he was the first manifestation of Krishna. Srila Prabhupada speaks about the tattva in a very interesting way. We hear that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. But there is a manifestation of Krishna who is known as the supreme personality of Servitor Godhead. And the original form of this supreme personality of Servitor Godhead is Balaram. Therefore, he is known as Akhanda Guru Tattva, the supreme unbroken truth of, the unbroken means the supreme whole, original aspect of serving Krishna. Although he is non-different from Krishna himself, still he has his particular nature and his speciality. That is, that every particle of his being is made of loving service to Krishna. This is who Balaram is. According to Shastra, there is no difference between Balaram and Krishna, except for the particular speciality of his complexion and maybe what instruments he's holding. So Balaram's complexion is white. Does anyone remember why his complexion is so light-colored? And why Krishna's complexion is so dark? You're welcome to post it in the thread. Why is Balaram's complexion so brilliant and light-colored? And why is Krishna's complexion so dark-colored? So from Baladev Prabhu, Krishna's first manifestation, the original is in Vrindavan. And then from him comes Mool Sankarshan, means the root. Srila Gurudev expressed that in one sense you can say he is Mool Sankarshan, the original Sankarshan. But there's a speciality of Baladev Prabhu in Vrindavan which is different than Baladev Prabhu in Mathura or Dwarka, and which is different than Baladev Prabhu's manifestation in Vaikuntha. So from the original form of Krishna manifests the form of Baladev Prabhu from his right side. And we understand that from his left side manifests Srimati Radhika. Altogether, these three are known as Sat Chit Ananda. So Baladev Prabhu is Sat, existence, potency. The fact that anything can have shape, the fact that anything can have form, even Krishna or Balaram or Vrindavan or Srimati Radhika or anything, or that it exists. This is Sat or Sandhini Shakti, the Sat, Sandhini potency. And we should understand that Baladev Prabhu is the Adhishtatri Devata of Sandhini Shakti. He is the predominating deity of this potency, which is the potency to exist. Krishna is the predominating deity of the Samvit potency. This means Gyan and Sambandha, relationship, knowledge of one's relationship and the depth of that relationship. And then Srimati Radhika is the Adhishtatri Devi of Hladini Shakti, which is the pleasure potency of the Lord, love, happiness, bliss, and all of this. That was unintentional. Sudevi is laughing. So Gurudev explained, Srila Gurudev Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj explained that these three together, they comprise this original Krishna, Advait Gyan Tattva Braje Brajendra Nandan. That you cannot remove any of them, otherwise you're missing essential components to the absolute truth. So each of those essential components manifests and takes a form. So the origin, or Krishna himself, is manifest as himself, but he's still the predominating deity of Samvit potency. The predominating deity of Sandhini Shakti is Baladev Prabhu, and the predominating deity of Hladini Shakti is Srimati Radhika. From this Baladev Prabhu manifests so many forms. So Srila Gurudev explained that Mool Sankarshan, or the root Sankarshan, Sankarshan means who is attracting. And Krishna is also, this name Krishna means to attract. So Sankarshan is also an attractive potency, non-different from Krishna. What does he do? His function is to engage every particle of his being in the service of Krishna. And everything that has manifest through him also is essentially for Krishna's purpose, to serve Krishna. As Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita states, Ekala Ishvara Krishna Ar Sabhavritya. There's only one supreme Lord of everything, Ishvar, and all others are his servants. So even Baladev Prabhu takes the role of being the servant of Krishna, and he serves in every way, even in Brajadham. So he's a very special tattva unto himself. Why? Because he's serving in every rasa. So before I speak about the expansions outward, I'm going to speak about his expansions inward, within Braj, because that is his original form. From Krishna manifests Baladev Prabhu. And although they are not different, still there is some speciality. Krishna's nature is that he's the supreme enjoyer of everything, and Baladev's nature is how to serve Krishna in every way. So he expands himself, how to serve Krishna. Just like Srimati Radhika also expands herself, Baladev Prabhu expands himself. How does he do this? He manifests himself as the foundation by which Krishna can play. So as the Dham. That means Vrindavan Dham is considered to be a manifestation of Baladev Prabhu. Govardhan is also considered a manifestation of Baladev Prabhu. Anything which has shape, structure, form, anything. He manifests like that, as the trees, as the flute. We hear that Vangshi Priya Sakhi. The flute is considered the dearmost Sakhi of Krishna, but Baladev Prabhu manifests himself as the flute, as Krishna's clothing, as his jewelry, even as his earrings. As the earrings are kissing Krishna's cheeks. This is also a manifestation of Baladev Prabhu. As everything. So he manifests himself in what we might consider Shantaras, but there's no pure Shantaras in Vrindavan. There's not even any pure Dasyaras. everything is conscious and everything is made of love and affection for Krishna. So Baladev Prabhu manifests himself as all of the transcendental associates as well. It's quite interesting, isn't it? There's a very interesting relationship between Baladev Prabhu, Krishna, Srimati Radhika, when it comes to the tattva perspective. That is called tattva vichar. Baladev Prabhu is also present in Sakyaras as a friend. Why? Because he's playing with Krishna as a friend. But he's also as an older brother. An older brother has vatsalyata for Krishna. Means a very protective mood. So Baladev Prabhu is also manifesting this vatsalyata. And also his mood is how to serve. So in every way he is serving. So Dasya is there, Sakya, Vatsalya, you can say some Shanta is there. And then, but this Baladev Prabhu as Baladev does not experience Madhurya Ras, which is the relationship of the gopis with Krishna. But he has a very particular form. His own potency, Shakti, is manifest as Ananga Manjari. And as Ananga Manjari he serves Krishna in Madhurya Rasa. So he is serving in every single rasa. This is the speciality of Baladev Prabhu, that he is so greedy and eager for serving Krishna that he serves in every way within Braj. And then in every way also expanding outside of Braj. Just as Srimati Radhika expands herself into all of the gopis and manjaris. And then from there, they are also expanded as the queens in Dwarka. And then more, the Shaktis continue. Uma, Rama, Satya, Shachi, Chandra, Rukmini, Radha, Avatara, Save, Amnayavani. All Shastra reveals that all Shaktis are originally manifested from the original Purna Shakti, Srimati Radhika. So all Vishnu Tattva is also manifested from the original manifestation of Krishna, which is coming from the Baladev side. So from Mool Sankarshan comes Vasudev Sankarshan, means Krishna in Dwarka, Krishna in Mathura, and Baladev Prabhu, and also in Dwarka, Mathura and Dwarka. The original Krishna of Vrindavan and the original Baladev of Vrindavan never step 1 foot outside of Vrindavan. Neither does the original Vrishabhana Nandini, Srimati Radhika. They never step 1 foot outside of Vrindavan. Vrindavanam parityaja padam ekam nagachati. They don't step 1 footstep outside of Vrindavan. So how do they manifest outside? As expansions. So Mool Sankarshan. First Baladev Prabhu, Braj Baladev, who is mostly visible as the older brother of Krishna in Vrindavan, manifests himself as Mool Sankarshan. This Mool Sankarshan or root Sankarshan takes its form in Mathura and in Dwarka. And then from this comes Mahasankarshan. Mahasankarshan is manifest as the Chaturvyuha Vasudev Sankarshan Pradumna Aniruddha in Vaikuntha. And then from that form manifests Karanadakshay Vishnu. Karanadakshay Vishnu is that form of Mahavishnu who is lying in the causal ocean. That is Causal. Not casual, although he's very casual, but he's lying in the causal ocean. And as he is breathing in and breathing out, unlimited universes are being created and destroyed. As he's breathing out, they're all coming to life. Everything that happens within them. Ours is 311 trillion of our years. Others are more than 500 trillion years. Ours is one of the smallest. We've already discussed this point before. He breathes out. Everything comes to life. All universes are flooded with all jivas, and then again, back inside. Everything goes into a state of its primordial elements, Mahat Tattva. The sum total of Mahat Tattva, and then again, he breathes out. This is Mahavishnu, or Karana Dakshayi Vishnu. Karana means who is creating. Karana. Who is causing everything. That is why it is called the causal ocean. So from him, within each universe, we see manifested, inside each universe, another form. Garbho Dakshai Vishnu. Garbha means womb. So within each universe, which is said to be Jagad Anda, universal egg, it's in that kind of a shape. Within each universe, again, that form of Vishnu is manifested. That is known as Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. And from his navel comes a lotus flower, and from that lotus flower comes Lord Brahma. And Lord Brahma's function is to create all of these species within the universe, within all of the planets, and he is attaining that power from Vishnu and also from the sound of Krishna's flute. Our Brahma was initiated by Krishna's flute with Kling Shabda. That sound, which was like the essence of Kam Gayatri, gave him the power to create. And so from this Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, within each universe, another form of Vishnu is manifested. This is known as Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. Within each universe, there's a special section which is transcendental. It is known as Kirsagar, the ocean of Kir, or the ocean of milk, whichever one you like. The ocean of Kir, Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, is residing in that place. And a non-different manifestation of Kshirodakshaya Vishnu is known as Paramatma. Paramatma is present in everything, within every atom of creation, as the supreme witness. Is also present within the heart of every living entity, riding along with that living entity, witnessing all of our actions, all of our desires, and helping us to fulfill our desires since time without beginning. As you desire, you shall have. So, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that I direct the wanderings of all living entities. So through these different manifestations, he does all of this. So, and then another non-different manifestation of Paramatma, who is also known as Chaitya Guru. The Guru of the heart manifests externally before our eyes because we don't have the capacity to see Guru in the heart or directly to communicate with him in our conditioned state. So he manifests externally to the external senses of the jiva. Jive shakshat nahitade Guru Chaitya Rupe. Therefore he comes Mahanta Swarupe, externally in the form of Diksha and Shiksha Gurus. And then the last limit of Balaram is known as Ananta, last limit, which literally means limitless, Shesh. And that unlimited Ananta Shesh, who is in the form of a unlimited hooded snake, is maintaining all of the universes, and from time without beginning has been glorifying the pastimes of Krishna unlimitedly and feels completely inadequate in even beginning to scratch the surface of his glories. So in every form he is serving, in every way, in the process, within the Leelas of Krishna in Braj, within all of the other pastimes of Krishna in Ayodhya, also he's there as Lakshman, in the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as Sri Nityananda Prabhu, Balarama Hoilo Nitai, Sri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Of course, in Krishna's pastimes, when he appears in any earth planet as Balaram himself, in so many different ways. But the all of the Vishnu avatars that we speak about, Keshavadritta Narahari Rupa, Keshavadritta Vamana Rupa, Keshavadritta Varaha Rupa, all of them are said to be manifestations of Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. I just read this from Srila Govinda Maharaj today. And he was explaining that they are Leela avatars. Now, when any demigods, they're feeling pressure because the demons are attacking them, they go to Lord Brahma and beg for help. Brahma goes to the border of the Kir ocean, the milk ocean, and within his heart he begins praying to Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. And then he receives a message in his heart from that Vishnu, who is telling him, now you should tell the demigods that they should take birth in any place on earth, and very soon I will make my appearance there. So they should take birth in these families and those families, and then I will appear there, and basically our pastimes will take place. So they will assist me in my pastimes. So Brahma reveals this to all of the demigods, then the demigods and their wives, they take forms in the earth planet where the Lord performs his pastimes. So in this case, we see that Kshirodakshaya Vishnu is manifesting as Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, Narasingha, Ram, Parshuram, and all of the avatars. This is originally coming from Krishna, but then through Baladev Prabhu. Through Baladev Prabhu. So he's serving in every way. His nature is to attract all souls in serving Krishna. So this is the basic tattva of basic. Very, very simplistic. It gets much more complex. But from this point, we can understand that Baladev Prabhu is a non-different manifestation of Krishna for the purpose of serving Krishna's will. And Baladev Prabhu is eternal. So now we have a question. Wait a second. I thought Baladev was Krishna's older brother. So how can he manifest from Krishna? That's the difference between tattva vichar and rasa vichar. And when any of these kind of questions come up, usually they can be reconciled when we have the scale of tattva vichar and rasa vichar, the conception based on essential, elemental, foundational truths, tattva, and the conception of rasa, or relationship and taste, and the mediums of service by which Krishna is experiencing and by which any other is experiencing relationship with Krishna. This is rasa conception. Then everything can be reconciled. But really, to understand these things properly, we must hear of these conceptions first and foremost from those pure devotees who understand them, who have realized them. Otherwise, what hope do we have in ascertaining these truths on our own? They're beyond the realm of the material senses. So our Gurudev, our Guru Varga, all of our Shastras, they all tell about this Baladev Tattva like this. That he's the first expansion of Krishna. And yet from the perspective of Rasa, we will see, wait a second, Baladev is older than Krishna. Right? So from the perspective of Tattva, we might see that he's the first expansion of Krishna, but also from another perspective of Tattva, he has always existed. So it's said like that so that we have some idea. Oh yes, okay, there's the original and there's an expansion. But then, when did Baladev never exist? When did Srimati Radhika never exist? When did any jiva never exist? That's another thing. Our Gurudev, our Shastras have explained that Baladev Prabhu is the source of all of the eternal associates of the Lord. In Vrindavan, he's manifesting all of the transcendental associates in Brajabhav. In Vaikuntha and Dwarka and Mathura, he's manifesting all of those transcendental associates. And he even manifests the jivas, tatashta shakti. He manifests us as well. So therefore, he has a very special inclination toward us, special relationship. Because he has manifested us, he is like our transcendental Father. Therefore, his nature is always compassionate to the jivas and always endeavoring to engage us in that thing which will make us happy forever. And that is our intrinsic nature of loving service to Krishna, which is just like him, to love and serve Krishna. So in every realm, he manifests all of the transcendental associates. So in this connection, Srila Gurudev Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, he said that from one perspective, it seems like that. But then we know that actually they have always existed. So sometimes for us to have an idea of something, we hear something at one point in time, and there's different kinds of logic which are described in this connection, like moon on the branch logic, as a mother is trying to show her child the moon. Look at the moon. He's like, where? She said, you see that branch of the tree right there? You see the white ball on the branch? That's the moon. It's sitting on the branch. And the child, oh yes, look, the moon is on the branch. But she knows that the moon is millions of miles away and that it is not sitting on the branch, but she's explaining this. So it is called the moon on the branch logic. I can't remember the exact Sanskrit term. Something Chandra Nyai logic. Nyai means logic. So from that perspective, some understanding can come. But our Gurudev and our Guru Varga have always explained that to really understand and ascertain these truths, we can only understand and ascertain to a certain certain amount through Nam Bhajan under the guidance of Sri Guru and Vaishnavas. Only then can we actually understand these things. Otherwise, through the material mind, intelligence, ego, and all of that, they're all mundane and material. Then through that medium, how can we figure out and ascertain transcendental truths? So that's just something for us to consider, that we try to wrap our minds, our intelligence around something which is way beyond the comprehension of the mind. It's beyond the realm of the senses. So through my material senses, I cannot calculate the infinite. Therefore, we are dependent upon receiving transcendental knowledge from a transcendental source who is above and beyond the realm of the material senses for us to understand. And by their mercy and by our endeavor to receive that mercy, means we need to actually receive it, to accept that, and to really be the recipient of their mercy. Then we can begin to understand something. So to understand transcendental subject matter is really a function of the transcendental itself. And by their mercy, we might be able to understand something. As we have seen in the history of Baladev Prabhu giving blessings to Ugra Shrava. So Baladev Prabhu is the original Guru. Guru means heavy. It also means one who takes one from the darkness to the light. What is the function of Guru, and what is darkness and what is light? Darkness, maybe you've heard this prayer. Asato ma sat gamaya, tamaso ma jyotir gamaya, mrityor ma amritam gamaya. Take me from tamaso, ignorance, to, or darkness, to the light, jyotir gamaya. Asato ma sat gamaya. Asato means what is untruthful, what is false. Bring me toward truth, or what is real. Tamaso ma jyotir gamaya, mrityor ma amritam. Take me from death toward eternality, eternal life. So this is Guru, who takes one from the darkness toward the light. What is the light? The real light is transcendental, loving service to our eternal beloved Krishna. So he's functioning in every way to engage all in the service of Krishna. So we have to understand that Baladev Prabhu, because he is the original Guru, he knows everything, he sees everything, and his function is to engage all in the service of Krishna. So once upon a time, when 88,000 rishis had assembled in Naimisharanya, they wanted to hear Srimad Bhagavatam, and the most perfected personality that they wanted to hear from, who was expert in Bhagavatam and all Shastra, who 88,000 rishis, the most advanced of all rishis, were going to hear from, was Romaharshan Sutta. And this Romaharshan, he was extremely knowledgeable. He knew all tattva, siddhanta, and everything. And so everyone put him on the seat of Vyasadeva. Vyasa is the disciple of Balaram. And Romaharshan is the disciple of Vyasa. So Balaram is the Param Gurudev of Romaharshan. So when Balaram entered this assembly, all 88,000 rishis stood and offered their pranam to him. But one person failed to stand, failed to recognize, failed to honor Baladev Prabhu. And that was the speaker himself, who was sitting on the seat of Vyasa. Immediately Baladev realized, this person who's sitting here is not qualified to be in this position. They don't understand Guru Tattva, they cannot recognize Guru. And yet they're going to speak. This is all nonsense. So let me liberate all of these persons from having to hear from this one. So he went up to him. That person failed to acknowledge, didn't even fold his hands, didn't bow or anything. He sat there on the seat of Vyasa without moving. Baladev took one blade of kusha grass and touched him with it. Immediately Romaharshan gave up his life. And then all the sages were going, oh my God, we were going to hear Srimad Bhagavatam from him. Now what will we do? Baladev Prabhu said, do you want me to bring him back to life? No, what you have done is correct. But still we came to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. How will we remedy this situation? Immediately Baladev Prabhu saw the son of Ramaharshan Sutta. His name was Ugrashrava. It means he had a voracious appetite for hearing the glories of Krishna. Ugrashrava Sutta. Baladev Prabhu put his hands on the head of Ugrashrava Sutta and blessed him that may all divine knowledge, may all transcendental knowledge, pastimes and tattva siddhanta and everything manifest in his heart. So from that, immediately everything manifested in his heart, and that person, Baladev Prabhu, put him on the seat of Vyasa and told him, you should speak Srimad Bhagavatam. So who is qualified to speak? Who is qualified to deliver the transcendental message? Only that person who has been given the blessing from above, who is authorized. Today some devotees posted a quote from our Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and also I read a very similar quote from our Gurudev the other day regarding Rupa Goswami. Who is qualified to reveal transcendental literature? Only that person who has fully realized it. Otherwise, what will that literature be? It will only be for increasing one's kanaka, kamani, and pratishtha. Their desire for attaining wealth, their desire for enjoying sense gratification through the medium of all of their senses, and their desire for name, fame, labha, puja, pratishtha, adoration, position, power, and all of these things. So, Baladev Prabhu showed that just because someone is well versed and so knowledgeable, and even though thousands and thousands and thousands of great personalities might be sitting there ready to listen, if that person has no true realization, they will not be able to recognize Sri Guru. Baladev is his own Param Gurudev. How will his own Guru be pleased if he doesn't glorify and honor his Gurudev? Impossible. So, Baladev showed that this person is not fit to be in this position. He's not fit to occupy the seat of Guru. That is Vyas Asan, the seat of Guru. So who can sit in the Vyas Asan? Only that person who is ordained. Means by their nature, by their qualities, and from divine transcendental revelation, you can say. By the mercy from up above, that person who is ordained can take that seat, who has received that transcendental potency, and then they can deliver. So Baladev Prabhu instantly manifested everything in his heart. That same information that Ramaharshan had, minus the connection, Baladev Prabhu gave to Ugrashrava with connection. So just knowing thousands and millions of shloks and the ability to run circles with shloks, this will not do. Only knowing the shlok will not do, as Gurudev said, sit down. Right? So, those who receive that mercy, then they have the potency to be able to deliver something, to share something. By the mercy of Baladev Prabhu, Ugrashrava Sutta became known later on as Sutta Goswami. Sri Sutta Uvacha. He was the one whom we received Bhagavatam from. That he's glorifying Shukadev Goswami. Our Srimad Bhagavatam is Sutta Goswami's processed transcendental knowledge of what he heard from his Gurudev Shukadev Goswami. Therefore he's saying, Yang pravrajantam anupetyam apetya dvaipayano vilahakatarya juhava putreti tanmayataya taravo vinedus tang sarvabhuta hridayam munimanatosmi. Sutta Goswami is glorifying his Gurudev, Shukdev Goswami, with a beautiful prayer. I'm just going to mention the last line, because this directly relates to Baladev Tattva, that I see that my Gurudev is situated within the heart of every living entity. Tang sarvabhuta hridayam munimanatosmi. So he understands this principle. Like our Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada told in Mumbai in 1936 to all of his god brothers on the disappearance day of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, Guru is one who appears in an infinity of forms to teach you, me, and all others. So that Guru that he's referring to is Akhanda Guru Tattva or Baladev Prabhu. So how does he teach? In so many different ways. Within the pastimes of Vrindavan, we see Baladev Prabhu is also killing demons. Which demons? The demon of ignorance, the demon of duplicity and hypocrisy. So many different situations, scenarios come up. Once upon a time, there was a demon in the shape of a donkey. Does anyone know his name? First person to post his name gets a prize. So I'm going to tell it anyhow. He was a servant of King Kamsa, and he was living in a very big forest of tall trees. Tall trees are like a kind of palm tree, which has a special kind of fruit on it, which is very sweet. So Krishna and Balaram and the cowherd boys were wandering through this forest. And suddenly, the cowherd boys started to feel very hungry. Our Gurudev, when he would tell this pastime, he would say, hunger asur, the demon of hunger attacked them. They were so hungry and they began telling Krishna and Balaram, we're so hungry, we would like to have some of these sweet, tall fruits. But this particular orchard was the orchard of King Kamsa. And it was being guarded by this donkey demon. Thank you, Dhenuka Asur. Very good. Dhenuka Asur. Dhenuka Asur. Dhenuka is like a donkey and Asur means demon. So this demon is in the shape of a donkey and all of his family members are there. And he represents ignorance. Ignorance means what? Svarup Brahm, Tattva Brahm. All kinds of illusion about what is reality and what is not. It's ignorance, darkness. Really like most of us, who are attached to the mundane material things of this world, thinking it is everything, thinking it is real. Including our bank accounts, our families, our homes, everything. All of these things which are actually temporary and not really real. But we're so bound and attached to them. That's why it is said, we are in ignorance. This is Dhenukasur. So, he came hearing that Krishna and Balaram and the cowherd boys were there. They were shaking the trees and the fruits started falling. And they wanted to eat, but immediately the donkey heard, what is that noise? You have to actually make it here. The Dhenukasur came running with all of his donkey family members. And what did he do? He spun around and, as a donkey does with his hind legs, he kicked Baladev Prabhu in the chest. Well, Baladev Prabhu is the heaviest of the heaviest and the most powerful of the most powerful. Bal. He has so much strength. Balaram. So this Baladev Prabhu, what did he do? He grabbed the hind legs of this Dhenuka demon, Asur. And he began swinging him around and around and around and around. As he was swinging him, what happened? Oh, it is said that those swinging these donkey demons and throwing them up in the tops of trees, they had already lost their life by being swung around. They were being spun so quickly. So all of these donkey demons were thrown into the tops of these trees, and then very quickly all of these trees, the female, in this National Geographic video, the way it was actually manifest was a little bit more harsh than that. And this is a sign of stupidity or foolishness or ignorance. So the two males come together because they want the female. She's not really interested in either of them. But these males battle it out for hours. Hours, biting each other, kicking each other, fighting and fighting until they're both bloody and exhausted. Until one of them is so hurt that he just cannot fight anymore. And he kind of limps off, completely disappointed, depressed as the loser. And then the other one is completely also messed up, but anyhow, he won the fight. So then he goes and chases after the female. And she doesn't want him. She's like, no. So as he's chasing after her, she kicks him again and again and again with her hind legs in the face, in the chin. He just gets getting kicked again and again and again and again. Until she's worn down enough that he gets to have his way. But this is, from our Guru Varga's perspective, and actually in reality, a sign of ignorance, a sign of foolishness, again and again being kicked. This is the nature of this material world. The more we try to enjoy, the more we suffer, the more we're disappointed. Srila Gurudeva Maharaja said that. I'm quoting him. So this is a sign of ignorance. So Prahlad Maharaj says in Srimad Bhagavatam, Banam gato yad harim ashrayeta, that one should give up this thing and they should just enter the forest and surrender to the Lord. Why continue running after that thing which keeps kicking you again and again and again? This is a sign of foolishness. And then our Gurudev would tell, what is the nature of a donkey? How foolish they are. It sounds like speciesism, donkeyism, or whatever you want to call it, but the sages have ascertained this. It's quite interesting. Over time, they've witnessed and seen that the donkey is eating so much grass during the rainy season or in the spring season when there's so much. Because there's so much, he sees, oh, I haven't eaten anything. And because of that, he becomes very lean and thin, thinking I have not eaten anything, although he's constantly eating all day. So he becomes very lean and thin. So it's a matter of the mind over matter in this connection. And then in the summer, when there's no grass available, and the donkey's eating, he sees, oh my God, I've eaten everything. So he becomes very big and fat. Gurudev would tell this. So it's a sign of foolishness. Accepting untruth as truth and truth as untruth. It's the nature of the conditioned souls of this world. Illusion, making mistakes, imperfect senses, and cheating others. So this is ignorance. Ignorance means ignorance about who I am. Who is God? What is my relationship with God? All kinds of weakness of heart. Baladev Prabhu as Guru kills this demon of ignorance and establishes the truth of who we are in relationship with Krishna. That I am an eternal loving servant of Krishna and my nature is to give my everything to him. And only by that will I be truly happy and will I be able to please Krishna. Only by this process. So Guru removes that demon of ignorance. It is said that Baladev has two particular weapons. One is a plow, Keshava Dhrita Haladhara Rupa, plow, and the other one is a club. Oh my God, time is going so fast. Sorry. The club. What does he do with the plow? With the plow, he is tilling the earth. What does that represent? For us, Guru in our life, he makes a beautiful foundation. He clears out all kinds of anarthas. Tilling is making the soil soft and also removing all of the weeds. Aparad, weakness of heart, kapata kutinati, duplicity, hypocrisy, ignorance and everything. So that the seed of bhakti can be planted. And through the medium of Shravan and Kirtan, Shravana Kirtana Jale Kore Sechan, hearing and chanting of the glories of Krishna's names, forms, qualities and pastimes, this is nourished. The tendency to serve Krishna, the desire to serve Krishna is awakened and nourished until it continues to grow all the way to the lotus feet of Krishna and manifests the fruit of prema. So, what does he do with this club? If we can maintain the position of always being under the shelter of the lotus feet of Guru, then when any negative or unfavorable element comes, that's what the club is for. Means any nonsense, anartha or anything comes, then with the club, Gurudev smashes that thing. But the plow is for tilling the heart. Now this is a tattva. Gurudev explained that in Vrindavan, as Balaram with Krishna, he does not have a plow and a club. Baladev Prabhu's main instrument, his main ornament his shringar is a buffalo horn. And then he also has a flute, but that's not his most essential instrument. And Krishna's most essential one is a flute, but he also has other shringar like a buffalo horn and like that. But in Vrindavan, this Balaram does not have these. But in Dwarka we see that he had that. When he was offended by those in Hastinapur, Duryodhana and all of them, he became very angry and began dragging the city with his plow into the Ganga. I don't have time to explain the tattva of this, but Srila Bhaktivedanta Bharati Maharaja explained that actually, technically, it was Jamuna there. So why is it said Ganga? Because all of them, Ganga means water or the river as well. So all of these different rivers also could be known as Ganga. So I told it. Baladev Prabhu also killed Pralambasur. Who is Pralamba? Pralamba was a demon sent by Kamsa. And what is the nature of demons? They're always planning and plotting how to divide and conquer. In fact, Shastra says that even Rakshasas these days in Kali Yuga will take birth in the families of Brahmins. Interesting, isn't it? Dividing and conquering. So Kamsa's Pralamba friend came with an intention to divide and conquer. What was he thinking? Let me divide Krishna and Balaram. Let me kill Balaram. Then Krishna will become distraught. He will be so weak that easily I can defeat him. This is how demons calculate. So he took the form of a cowherd boy and entered into the pastimes of Krishna. At that time, they were having wrestling matches. And whoever would win the wrestling match, the opposite team would carry the winner on their shoulders. So this is the game they were playing. So then Pralamba decided to join the side of Krishna. Right? So that the opposite side would have to carry, or he would have to carry on their shoulders. So Krishna was on one side, Baladev was on the other side, and they were having wrestling matches. So at that time, who won? Krishna's side won. Sorry, Baladev's side won. Baladev's side won. This is the tattva. So then, Pralamba had to carry Baladev on his shoulders. So what did Pralamba do? He had a desire to separate Baladev from Krishna. So he began running very far away. And he kept going further and further. And Baladev was like, hey, wait a second. This person is no cowherd boy. He realized this person is a demon. So Baladev started to manifest his heaviness. He's heavier than everything. The origin of Guru. Gurudev said Guru is so heavy, even heavier than Krishna himself. So he became so heavy that Pralamba could no longer maintain his cowherd boy form, his false cowherd boy form. He manifested this massive, massive form up to the clouds. Very high, tall, darkish complexion, like the personification of sin. And he was running away. And Baladev became afraid. He's taking me away from Krishna. I don't want to go so far away. So what did he do? Right? Imagine someone has grabbed a kid and the kid is on the shoulders and they start running very far away from the parents and everything. And the kid starts becoming upset. What are they going to do? Boom, boom, boom. He started punching him on the head. Like this. He didn't want to be separated from Krishna. And by that punching, it appeared like Baladev was like the moon on top of this dark cloud. By that punching, Pralamba lost his life. But what is the purport of this? Pralamba was a demon. He had very, very insidious nature. He was plotting. He was conniving. He took a false form. Like Putana, she took a false form. This is the personification of false guru. Srila Bhaktivedanta Thakur said Putana represents false guru. But also like Pralamba, this is duplicity, hypocrisy, manifesting a very friendly mood, coming close, and then trying to take away that thing which is near and dear. Dividing and then trying to conquer. This is demonic. So Baladev Prabhu killed this demon. And for us, we all have this tendency of duplicity and hypocrisy. Externally showing one way, but inside full of so many anarthas and material desires. And so we should pray to Baladev Prabhu, Sri Guru, who manifested as Sri Guru, please remove these anarthas from my heart, which are stopping me from actually loving Krishna. They're holding me back. I'm so full of kapata, duplicity, hypocrisy. This age of Kali is the age of quarrel and hypocrisy. Right? What is that? Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Eva Kevan, Kalo, Nastyeva, Nastyeva. Kalo. The age of quarrel and hypocrisy, where everyone is fighting and there's so much duplicity. And really that's where the fighting comes from. What is that duplicity? I am the Lord. I am the one who should be worshipped. I am the one who should be loved and served. That's actually not true. Krishna is the one who should be loved and served. He's the Lord of everything. So all of this lying and cheating, it's only creating quarrel everywhere, taking advantage of and exploiting. Srila Bhakti Rakshak Srila Maharaja calls this place the land of exploitation. The land of exploitation. Everyone's trying to get something from someone else. Even in the name of love. I love you means I want to enjoy you in this world. Atmendriya pritivancha taribalikam krishnendriya priticha ghare premanam. The desire to satisfy my own senses or the senses of anyone in this world is known as lust. Come. Krishna indriya pritivancha dhare premanam. The desire to satisfy the transcendental senses of Krishna, this is known as prem, divine love, transcendental love and affection. So Baladev Prabhu's function is to remove us from this self-serving tendency which is only binding us in this material world of suffering since time immemorial and bringing us toward serving Krishna, which will bring us eternal transcendental happiness and also will be pleasing to Krishna. This is his speciality. So Baladev Prabhu, oh my God, it's getting late. Please forgive me. Oh gosh. Prejudice versus donkeys. There was an issue, I didn't know. Okay, sorry about that. So Baladev Prabhu, he has manifested as Lakshman in the Leela of Sri Ram. But when he was as Lakshman, Ram made him do something which he really didn't like. Even though Sita was completely transcendental, completely pure, and had been proven pure because someone was saying some stuff which Ram overheard, criticizing the king. Because Ram is Maryada Purushottam, then he has to teach by his own example. So someone is saying, oh, what was he saying? This man's wife came home really late. And he said, I'm not like Ram who will take his wife back after she's been with another.
For 1 year.
Huh?
For 1 year.
Yeah, for 1 year. I'm not like Ram who will do that. So he wouldn't accept her back. When Ram heard this, he realized, as a king, I have to be the example. Otherwise, how can I rule properly? He is also Acharya, teaching by his own example. And this is the meaning of Maryada Purushottam, the Supreme Personality of teaching proper rules and regulations. So although he never gave up his love for Sita, and although his heart was breaking in separation from her, he instructed his younger brother Lakshman, take her to the forest and drop her off. Lakshman was like, what? Why me? His heart was breaking at the idea of doing such a thing. But he dropped her off near the hermitage of Valmiki. So there's a whole history there, which I'm not going to go into. This is all part of Leela, so we should not attribute material, mundane things to this Leela. Just like how the Yadu dynasty ended. All drank, what is it? Was it rice wine? Or honey wine? And then all began a fratricidal war where thousands and millions of the Yadu dynasty literally finished each other's lives. But this was part of the Leela. It's like a great drama, right? If you see someone performing the pastime of Romeo and Juliet, they're the best actors and they're doing a Broadway show and moving from city to city, and you see, oh yes, they both committed suicide, they both died, and everyone's weeping and crying. So from that perspective, we're all weeping and crying, oh my God. But then they go to the next city and they perform this drama. So this is the pastimes of the Lord, moving from one place to the next, for the pleasure of the devotees to see these amazing, vivid pastimes. We should understand that this is pastimes of the Lord, and we should not criticize the pastimes of the Lord and mundanize them. So, now I'm going to tell one thing, and then we'll have to finish and continue tomorrow, which I'm very sorry about because Baladev Prabhu's tattva and his pastimes are unlimited. So, Lakshman as Lakshman, he didn't like that. So when he came back as the brother of Krishna, he never came back as the younger brother because he didn't want to be told to do something like that. He came as Baladev Prabhu, and when Baladev Prabhu and Krishna had an apparent difference over Arjuna taking Subhadra as his wife, Krishna told Arjuna, you should pose as a sannyasi. All the Yadu dynasty, all of Krishna's intimate associates knew that this was the plan, but Baladev wanted his sister Subhadra to marry Duryodhana.
Shishupal.
No, Subhadra.
Oh, Subhadra, sorry.
So, at that time, when Arjuna, the sannyasi, took Subhadra, Baladev was like, gather all the armies. He was thinking Subhadra is meant for Duryodhana. And he had favoritism toward Duryodhana because Duryodhana was his disciple of club fighting. So because of that, Baladev became upset. Gather the armies. And Krishna said, what are you doing? He said, we have to rescue our sister. She's being kidnapped. And Krishna said, what do you mean she's being kidnapped? Who's driving the chariot? Subhadra was driving the chariot. So Krishna said, she wanted this, we all wanted this. And Baladev said, why didn't you say so? But everyone was too scared to say anything. Because Baladev was very powerful. He's easily angered and also very easily pleased. So no one said anything to him. And he's like, why didn't you just say so? But he became a little upset. So we see this in the pastimes of the Lord. But one beautiful pastime, and I need to tell this now. Hopefully I'll tell it quickly. I wanted to say that Baladev Prabhu, as the older brother, he left that place. He left. He didn't stay. And because he didn't have an obligation to. And as Nityananda Prabhu also, what did he do? Of course he's always serving Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but also he was a bit wild, avadhut. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came with a single danda, eka danda, which represented the oneness. Nityananda Prabhu didn't like it, so what did he do? He broke Mahaprabhu's danda in 3 pieces and threw them in the river. What was the purpose of this? Baladev Prabhu as Nityananda Prabhu, he was showing, no, there's at least 3, us, the Lord, and Prem. So mind, body, words, it has so many different meanings, but it's not just all one. There's also difference between everything. Baladev Prabhu, we hear that he was sent by Krishna to pacify the gopis in Vrindavan. And the gopis in Vrindavan were in utter desperation and separation from Krishna. Without his direct darshan, they were completely overtaken, completely consumed with the mood of viraha. So Baladev Prabhu went there on the instruction of Krishna to pacify them. And different acharyas have said different things about this pastime. And so it needs to be reconciled. Srila Bhaktivedanta Thakur said the most recent acharya is the sum total of all previous acharyas' conceptions and understandings. So we should understand it from this perspective. The condensed, refined perspective. And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada said some things about this. Other acharyas have said some things about this. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur said some things about this. Our Gurudev has said some things about this. You see in Srimad Bhagavatam something is being said. Baladev Prabhu goes to Vrindavan. So some people couldn't understand. So some acharyas have said, in Srimad Bhagavatam it is said that at the time of Holi, some gopis were looking toward Krishna, but Krishna noticed that some were looking toward Balaram. And Krishna gave a signal to Balaram, look, they're checking you out. So that Balaram went and danced with those gopis, it is said. And others have said other things. But our Gurudev has refined the conception. We should understand that Baladev Prabhu, his nature is not Vishai or the enjoyer, but his nature is Ashray, which means to serve Krishna in love and affection. So Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has explained that Baladev Prabhu went to Vrindavan with the mood to pacify the gopis. And so as they were engaging in remembering Krishna, they were remembering Krishna in all of his pastimes, and Baladev Prabhu was there with them. At that time, reminding each other of Krishna more and more, that separation mood rose much, much, much more intensely. So reminding them of Krishna didn't help the situation actually, it made it more acute. More intense separation mood was there. So much so that Baladev Prabhu became so absorbed in remembering Krishna that his complexion became blackish like Krishna. At that time, seeing their separation, he could not tolerate it. Shuniya amara duka Vaisnava Thakur amalage Krishna avedivena prachur. Vaishnavara avedane Krishna doymoy ehino pamara prati havena sadoy. Seeing the suffering condition, their condition and separation, Baladev Prabhu could not tolerate. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur said at that time he manifested himself into unlimited forms and brought each one gopi to a kunja. And in that kunja he prayed to Krishna on their behalf, begging and crying, praying to Krishna, please manifest for them. And so Krishna manifested and then fulfilled all of their desires in this case, seeing their condition. And so we can also see that Baladev Prabhu in the form of Sri Guru does this for us by giving us Harikatha, by giving us Krishna Katha, by engaging us in remembering the pastimes of Krishna. Gradually a deep, intense, unquenchable thirst will manifest in our heart. And already he's tilled our heart and tried to make it a beautiful place for Krishna to come. But when that crying mood, that separation mood increases to such an extent that we cannot live. Someone told us the other day that somebody said, oh, it was Sanjay Prabhu. He said Gurudev was supposed to go to someone's house. And Maharaja, Gurudev said, I can't go, I have too many things I have to do. And Maharaja said, they said that if you don't go, they will die. And Gurudev said, well, let's see if this is true, if that will really happen. Gurudev said something like that. Oh, will it really happen? We should actually have that intensity that if I cannot see Krishna, if I cannot have this darshan, if I cannot serve him, I cannot maintain my life. So in this connection, Baladev Prabhu, Nityananda Prabhu comes to us directly in the form of Sri Guru. And by their mercy, by their grace, when they see that our heart is screaming and crying for Krishna, where we feel to that point that I will not be able to maintain my life without serving Krishna, at that time Gurudev will petition Krishna profusely on our behalf. Radha and Krishna will make themselves present within our heart, and then we will be able to serve them there. So by the mercy of Baladev Prabhu, because of his extreme compassion, he manifests in every way to engage us also in the service of Krishna, coming to us in the form of Sri Gurudev and also in the form of Vaisnava, Shiksha Gurus, to engage us in the service of Krishna. And we will continue more tomorrow. On this day, I want to pray to Sri Baladev Prabhu. I cannot speak for any of you, but I can speak for myself, that my heart is full of so many anarthas. My heart is full of so much illusion, this kapata, kutinati, ignorance and everything. So praying in the dust of the lotus feet of Baladev Prabhu, who is manifesting to us in the form of Sri Guru, but please help me to remove these anarthas from my heart so that one day I might be able to honestly, with this simple heart, full of love and affection, serve the lotus feet of Sri Radha and Krishna.
Me too.
Okay, and for all of us. Shri Baladev Prabhu ki jai, Shri Baladev Purnima ki jai, Shri Gurudev ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Rupana Guru Varga ki jai, Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Forgive me for going so long. I thought I would have more time, but Baladev Tattva gets quite lengthy.
I think he says this every day.
So I'm going to make it quick. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Shringar, new outfit today, made by Sudevi. Shri Gurudeva ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Rupana Guru Varga ki jai, Pratik Pavan Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Prem Purushottam Shachinandana Gaura Hari ki jai, Radha Vinodi Hari ki jai, Radha Raju ki jai, Giriraj Maharaj ki jai, Harinama Sankirtan ki jai, Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai, Gaura Bhaktivedanta ki jai, Nidai Gaura Premanande, Shri Balaram ki jai, Malare Purnima ki jai, Gaura Premanande, Govinda Nam Dharmadave, Govinda Nam Dharmadave, Govinda Nam Dharmadave, Govinda Nam Dharmadave. Bolo Radhe Radhe Radhe, Jai 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 Shri Radhe. Radhe Radhe Radhe, Jai 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 Shri Radhe. Radhe Radhe Radhe, Jai 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 Shri Radhe. Shri Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Shyam Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Shri Baladev Prabhu ki jai. So thank you very much for being with us today, for giving us the opportunity to remember the beautiful teachings of our Gurudev and our Guru Varga, especially on this day of Baladev Purnima, for engaging me all day in reading the beautiful teachings of our Gurudev and Guru Varga. We look forward to being with all of you tomorrow, and we can continue with some more of Baladev's pastimes and Baladev Purnima. and his Tattva and Leelas. That's what I wanted to say. So part 2. And
thank you very much.
Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna. Radhe, Radhe,
Radhe,
Radhe,
Radhe.
Radhe.